There is no prophet at all on the earth except the one talking to you now.
To his followers, he is the two mightiest prophets, the man who brought Mama Rosa back to life. To his critics, he is a master of psychological influence. But this guy does not lack controversy. He has got some very diabolical takes, like claiming he created the universe with God.
After we created those planets,
baada ya sisi kuziumba hizo tayari,
then
kisha
I was holding to put them in their orbit and on their matrix.
nilikuwa
You
nashikilia
can imagine how big their hand one can be.
That he is the one that brought coronavirus.
I am the one that brought the coronavirus.
Jesus.
Look how many people died at my word.
He even claimed to have cured HIV so boldly, in fact, that licensed doctors were paraded as proof. Those claims were challenged and in some cases exposed in a recent TV47 investigation, Divine or Deceptive. As I was scrolling through social media, I came across this video.
Prophet Owuor, the most learned scientist in the world. The most learned, people don't understand. Owuor has got more than 2 PhDs. One from the University of Tel Aviv, and the other one from the University of...
The Prophet Owuor,
yes,
no.
yes, Oklahoma. You're the
Oh.
first dean of medical school, the first black dean of Chicago State University Medical School.
Oh.
He's a molecular scientist.
These statements took me down into a rabbit hole, and while doing the digging, I came across this picture. Dr. Edward David Owuor. Upon digging deeper, I found published scientific research papers with David Owuor's name attached to them. So this begs the question, how comes an established scholar with a PhD have such controversial takes, and how did he come to command such a huge following of devoted soldiers? Well, to really understand him, we have to go back to Bondo. David Edward Owuor was born in 1966 in Goma village, Bondo, the second child in a family of 6. His childhood was spent moving between Kenya and Uganda following his father's work. In the late 80s, he joined Makerere University to pursue a Bachelor of Science degree, but due to political unrest in Uganda, he was forced to complete his undergraduate degree in the University of Nairobi, where he later on undertook his Master's in Genetics. Being one of the leading students, he earned 2 scholarships to Germany and to Israel. He chose Israel and joined the University of Haifa for a doctorate in biochemical genetics. After completion, he decided to further his studies in the United States of America. Here, his career moved into high-level scientific research. He pursued advanced studies in molecular biology, eventually earning him a second PhD, widely associated with the University of Tennessee. This wasn't just theory, this was cutting-edge science. He worked in research environments like the University of Tennessee Health Science Center and the University of Illinois in Chicago. His focus? Molecular biology, cancer research, and cellular signaling. At the center of this story is a contradiction that's very hard to ignore. A man trained in science, in evidence, in data, in the biology of the human body. A man who studied how cells behave, how diseases work, how truth is tasted. And yet, this same man has stood before thousands and claimed to heal diseases like HIV. Not as belief, not as prayer, but as facts. Statements that were later challenged by the Ministry of Health and eventually led the NCCK to publicly distance itself from his miraculous healings. So, which is it? The science or the spectacle? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't stand on evidence and then step outside of it when it no longer applies. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just about faith, but about influence, about what happens when people trust you, not just as a preacher, but as a scientist, because when claims are backed by authority, they carry weight. And when that authority comes from science, the line between belief and truth gets harder to see.